French guy make a mistake.
Joined now in the media center by our points leader and also pole sitter for the GoPro Grand Prix of Sonoma tomorrow afternoon, Simon Pagenaud, driving the number 22 Hewlett-Packard Enterprises Chevrolet for Team Penske. Simon, a lot of the unknowns for this weekend are over. You know that you'll be starting from pole. You know that you've secured that extra bonus point. How are you feeling heading into tomorrow?
Yeah, it feels great. Most importantly, up until now there was no thinking about the race, no thinking about the outcome. It was all about raw speed, and obviously the Penske car has been amazing. We certainly prepared really well in practice. Everything went perfectly all weekend so far. So it was about preparing the car for the red Firestone tires, which we know I'm always more comfortable on those tires, so I can always extract a little bit more on myself. But we had a very good balance on the car. The first lap, when we put the red Firestone tires on, I just went on the radio and said, "Wow, this is going to be good." And we're able to replicate the lap time every time. So unbelievable that we could actually replicate that lap time in the Fast 6 with used tires. But certainly did everything I could by challenging every high-speed corners that I could, and it was on the edge, but it was a really good lap, and super proud of the guys. I mean, these guys, the 22 team, 7 poles this season, 4 wins. No matter what happened tomorrow, it's been an incredible season.
You set the track record in segment 1 of qualifying. This is also your best start here at Sonoma, previous best start of 4th. So things have been improving, even though you've had great results here before. What do you feel has changed or evolved that's continued to grow in your performance here at Sonoma Raceway?
Well, first of all, I drive a Penske car, so they're pretty good cars, let me tell you this. And I also had the time to develop my car into what I like. Last year was one of those seasons where it was a transition, and we found at the end of the season what I really needed to go find a little bit more. And the Chevy Aero package is also suiting my style really well, and in addition to that, we've been able to find some little tricks on the setup, and I'm just able to just think about driving and not really think about anything else. So in these moments, as an athlete, you just try to improve every time you go out, and improve every little details. But I'm working in such a tight window of operation on the details that it's you're working for 500ths of a second here and there, and that's what create good lap time at the end.
Questions for Simon. David.
Simon, first off, congratulations. Quite the weekend for you. We wake up this morning and we learn about your extension with Menards for next year. You take the track in the afternoon and somewhat steal pole position, I guess, from one of your teammates. That's
P1 in every session. I didn't steal it.
Oh.
Sorry.
No. So what's your mindset going into the race tomorrow? I mean, you 5th or higher and you win the championship. How do you approach this?
It's a really good question. It's tough. Let me tell you, it's a good position, but it's also a bad position because I can't control what's going to happen behind when people are going to start to pit. I can't see what anyone's going to do. I'm going to go through turn 11 and people can pit behind me, and I can't control that. So, we are going to have to be the leader of any strategy, really. We're going to have a strong discussion tonight on what we need to do to make sure we don't take risks, because we're not in a position to take too many risks on strategy, but also that we can secure it. That's the biggest thing.
One follow-up on the strategy. Will Power was just here and he said he's thinking degradation is going to be a major factor tomorrow. It's going to be maybe a 4-stop race. Do you see that being a possibility?
Yeah, I think there will be degradation. It's usually the case here. The cars always degrade a lot. The tires here suffer a lot. There's so many hairpins and traction out of the corners. We have a lot more power than we used to. So obviously we're 7+ more horsepower right now. So it's asking a lot of the tires. It's a old tarmac as well with a lot of dust on it. So it creates a lot of wear. But we did a long run in practice too yesterday, and I felt that's the best car I've had here in terms of degradation. So in that sense, I feel comfortable with what we're going to have. It's hard to know who's going to be strong, who isn't going to be strong, but there will be cars that were not fast in qualifying that might be good in the race, so we'll have to see.
Patrick?
You go into tomorrow with a lead and everything's
where it's supposed to be going, is what's the one thing that's going to keep you up just a little longer tonight going into tomorrow? What's that one thing in the back of your mind you're worried about?
Strategy. I really am worried about that. You know, strategy or just outside factor that we can't control. I mean, I've had issues this year with some mechanical issues. I mean, what if it happens again? Can't control that. It would be so unfortunate, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Strategy as well. You know, a yellow that comes at the really wrong time for me. Like I said earlier, I think we just need to err on the safe side. Even if it's to finish second, I think it's okay, as long as we win the championship. But today, I just think, you know, as far as today, we just, again, showed strength, and that's what it was all about, to show that if we are to win this championship, we deserved it, on any points.
Other questions, Bruce?
It's going to be a fairly late start, West Coast standards, and a late finish by West Coast standards. Was there any part of this track where, as the sun is setting, glare becomes a major issue at that time of day?
No, it's been fine here. It's when you come back, sometimes you see the sun, but late when we come here, testing finished at 6 o'clock, but that time of the day it should be okay, it shouldn't be a problem. Sometimes there's some whippers as well at the exit of turn 11, depends on the tide. Hasn't been a problem this weekend, so I think the track may have fixed it. So we'll see, but that's something you always need to look for during the race.
Other questions? Any questions upstairs in the media center?
Two questions. First of all, Simon, congratulations for pool. The scenario is...
Where are you, Wolfgang? Where are you?
Yeah, thank you, recognize my voice.
I can't see you. Where is he?
He's upstairs.
Oh, you're upstairs.
I'm upstairs, yeah.
That's really weird. I was like, oh my god, I'm really in trouble here, I can't see you.
I take it a little bit relaxed. Okay, my two questions is, the scenario is you have to finish just fifth to win the championship tomorrow. Nevertheless, I think one of the unknown factors is, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, that there are factors uncontrollable for you, especially traffic. Do you already have set up a little plan or thinking how you deal with traffic? And question number two, under this extremely heat, it's not only stressful and exhausting for you, but I think also for the technical equipment, engine, brakes, etc., etc. Is there any possible technical...
I forgot the first question, Wolfgang.
Yeah.
So did he.
What was it? No, seriously.
How you deal with traffic?
Well, yeah, what was it on traffic? Sorry, I'm supposed to...
When you overlap cars, I mean, did you all work out, I mean, what to do? I mean, we saw it...
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, in
I'm still doing my laps in my head, so... No, we haven't talked about it, because up until this point, it was a matter of getting the points for pole position, starting on the front, and then decide. So it would be completely different if we were 15th, or 8th, or whatever. So obviously now we can sit down and really review all the plans. We've talked last week about it, and we've had some interesting discussion, some things that I have thought about that maybe Ben didn't think about or Kyle didn't think about, and it was actually a good interaction. So we're going to talk about it tonight and see what we want to do. But certainly, like I said, it's difficult to take any risk tomorrow.
And the second question, is there technically a possibility
Yes.
to cool down brakes and engines, for example, during the long race under these heat conditions?
I think it's fine because the wind is not too hot. You know, there's some air, so it's not as bad as like it used to be at Houston, for example, where there was no air. So the brakes can actually cool down on the straights, and as long as you're running, it's okay. It's when you stop in the pits where the engine has a heat soak, but we stopped so short that should be fine. Again, I can't really worry about these things, I just have to go.
Other questions for Simon? Mary?
Simon, you talked about now that you know where you're starting from, you can sit down and discuss your strategy. Is that with just Ben, your engineer, or does Kyle get involved, and does Roger get involved at all?
No, it's mostly Kyle and Ben, and Carlos Gutierrez is also playing all the strategies in the background. He's always on my radio during the qualifying session. When I come back to the pits, I always ask him questions. You know, am I good mid-corner of 7? Am I better on the exit? What am I? Tell me. He's always looking at numbers. He's really fast with his computer. It's quite incredible. So he helps us bring information to the timing stand. and then Kyle and Ben decide basically what Kyle wants to do, and Ben just reinforce what Kyle wants to do. So it's been a good, an excellent group this year. So again, but I'm very involved with the process. Roger is not really involved. I think it's funny. I think Tim Cindric and Roger don't really want to get involved since he's been working so well, and they have to take care of their own strategies. So it's when you have 4 cars, it's actually difficult to, deal with everybody. You just really have to focus on your own job.
Any final questions for Simon? Any final questions upstairs in the media center?
No questions.
Simon, congratulations. Good luck
Thank
tomorrow.
you.